and that would be taxation. Traditionally, Kansas state revenue has been based on what is commonly referred to as a three-legged stool, with one of those legs being income tax, another sales tax, and the third property tax. This legislative session, the income tax leg was shortened when income taxes were eliminated on certain corporate or business non-wage income. Do you agree with this restructuring of sources of revenues in Kansas? Why or why not? Please.
Well, I did not agree with this tax bill at all, and it's probably most of you know I did not vote for it. I, like everyone else, would like to have lower taxes. I own a small business. Why wouldn't I want lower taxes? I pay personal tax just like you do. Why wouldn't I? But I think it's irresponsible to have a tax bill that the governor and the legislature passed that immediately puts us in a deficit. I don't know how anyone could actually vote for a piece of legislation like that. There was an alternative tax bill that actually showed a positive ending balance that actually did reduce our personal income tax and did give the tax breaks to the LLCs and the sole proprietorships, subchapter S's, which I actually would have been in favor for because it did have a positive ending balance. All of this research is done by our legislative research people in the legislature. We can see it's always shown a 5-year period on what it looks like, what it doesn't look like. So we knew what it was going to look like. I think it was irresponsible, and I'm glad that I voted exactly the way I did.
Mr. Russell?
This is a hard one to answer in just 90 seconds. I think this is possibly one of the worst pieces of legislation passed in recent memory in Kansas. Everything about it, from the way it was passed, the way, there's no other way to say it, but the moderate Republicans in the Senate were told something that wasn't true. They were told this bill would never become law and that they should change their votes on the bill to reconsider, and 3/4 of them agreed to, which is mind-boggling to me. If you don't believe in something, you shouldn't vote for it. But the governor put extreme pressure on the moderate Republicans in the Senate, and 3/4 of them caved into that pressure. He wasn't putting pressure on anybody in the House because he already had the votes he needed there. This is going to be a disaster for the state budget, as it's been well documented. And I don't think we should have been talking about any tax cuts, not for people and not for businesses on income tax, until we have restored the school cuts and eliminated a waiting list of people with disabilities who are not getting the services they needed, and made sure that our transportation and infrastructure programs are being paid for. That's when you have tax cuts. I'm all for it when you can afford it, but not in this reckless way that this was done.
Hey, you